thing I've always found interesting is how fictional worlds explain and handle real-world fiction. Say, for instance, dragons? I mean, in the Marvel Universe, dragons both exist as the man-made myth and actually exist as real-ass dragons. So how the hell does that work? Well, luckily for me and you, questions like that are exactly why I have a job. I'm Jocelyn the intern. I do all the research nobody else wants to, straight from the desk of Death Battle! Okay, so dragons, how do they work? Well, the short answer is aliens. However, why those aliens are on Earth and how they ended up becoming the myths we know is a pretty interesting story. You see, there was this race of shapeshifters called Maklans from a world with too many A's in its name. These aliens left their homeworld in order to conquer some other world, and of course, they happened to land right in the middle of ancient China. Now, all these weird space lizards decided the best way to take over Earth would be to use their shape-shifting powers to take on human forms and just hang out until they start conquesting or whatever space dragons do. But like all good interstellar conquerors, they wanted a backup plan. So they had their navigator, Fang Foom, take like a super long nap. I'm talking hundreds of years long kinda nap. Although we don't know the exact date he started this super nap, we do know he slept until 1961, aside from one short interruption sometime during the Tang Dynasty. It was during that short interruption that Fang Foom not only killed a bunch of nasty communists, but also went down in Chinese legend, getting a name that translates to "he whose limbs shatter mountains and whose back scrapes the sun. Which really gives you an idea of how hard this guy must have beat up those nasty 8th century communists. Speaking of commies, in 1961 he was awoken again, this time by a teenager whose hometown was under threat from some more communists. So the angsty teen led Fang Foom to the nearby Marxist camp. Turns out one of communism's greatest weaknesses is a killer space dragon! Who would have guessed? Aside from taking on the Reds, Fang Foom typically finds himself fighting Iron Man of all people. In fact, Foom actually has a teeny tiny cameo in the first Iron Man movie. For a pretty good reason too. Fang Foom has played a pretty big role in Iron Man's history. Not only has he served as a villain for Tony, but he also helped Iron Man's nemesis, the Mandarin, come to power. The actual Mandarin, not the one from the movie who turned out to, spoilers, be an actor. Anywho, the real Mandarin's outstanding power comes from his 10 power rings, which are actually the engine to Fang Foom's spaceship. And now, you might be thinking, this dragon dude sounds like a pretty bad hombre, but he's actually turned it around as of recently. After deciding to give up his evil ways, he started doing good, including saving Christmas once. But above all, my favorite Fang fact tops all of this, and it's honestly the reason I decided to make this episode. I shit you not, Fang Foom once killed the majority of a family by defecating on them. Yep, and to make it better, the only survivor of this shitty situation acquired the power to stink so bad it became a weapon! This lone stinky man became a villain and called himself the Shit King. Are you Fang f***ing listening? A dragon from space killed this man's wife and children by shitting on them, and then the dragon's shit was so odorous that it gave the man a superpower. Holy shit, if that isn't one of the best and dumbest bits of comic book writing ever, then I don't know what is. Fun fact, the Hulk and Fang Foom once got into a bit of an altercation, and the Hulk literally threw Finn to the goddamn moon. Bang zoomed straight to the moon with Fang Foom.